Liftoff. Good evening, folks. It is March 3rd, right? Yeah. No, March 5th, 2025. I get my calendar days all screwed up because apparently I don't know how to read a calendar anymore. So bear with me. We'll figure it out. I'll look at it here. Wednesday, March 5th at 8 p.m. You are with another show, another evening here with I-12 GIA. Real Talk with Real People, the voice of experience. Welcome. And if you like, as this usual show, if you, Jesus, I can't even talk tonight. If you see what you like, go to YouTube. We're streaming live there. And please hit the like and subscribe button. That's what keeps us on the air. You have myself, Instructor Fogg. You have the specialist over there with the sunglasses on. Those are AI sunglasses, so I don't know if they're wired into his brain or some such shit. I'm not sure what he's going to be like tonight. But earlier when he came on, there were flashing lights everywhere, and he was talking. He was mumbling something about stripper poles. So I don't know what that's going to mean, but. Anyway, and then the professor's down there on the bottom, who not only is he not one, he does not play one on TV, but there we have it. This is a designated as a mature audience show. So if there are young children watching, please leave. If you are have delicate sensibilities and are easily offended, then please leave also, because you're not going to like some of the stuff that you hear tonight. We are going to be discussing the Zelensky roundtable here in a bit. We're going to do President Trump 44 days in and his address to Congress last night, and which resulted in the meltdown of the Democrats and Democrats misbehaving. Sound like a plan? Everybody happy? Everybody
Sounds good to me.
Go? All right. So, Professor, why don't you start us off, brother?
So, President Zelensky, Oval Office. Of course, everything happens, right? Like on Thursdays or Fridays, right after we do the show, right?
Right.
Yeah. Wow. I thought that was, I'd like to start off by saying I thought that President Trump and Vice President Vance did a fantastic job conducting themselves. Yep. That is what I voted for. I agree with everything he said. Look, we've given millions of dollars to a country to fight a war that honestly I want nothing to do with. And I don't understand why the Democrats want a fight with Russia. They're not even hiding it. They want to go to war with the second strongest nuclear power out there. And I can't understand the logic. I can't wrap my head around it. I've tried to take a deep breath, examine it from where they're coming from, and I still can't figure it out. We gain nothing from that. I'm not saying what Russia did was right with Ukraine, but we've discussed this before. If we, as the United States, didn't meddle in elections, foreign elections, overturn elections, and then put our cronies in there to launder money through, maybe we wouldn't piss off the neighbors. Hi, Annie. Nice to see you. So when we, at least when I cast my vote for President Trump, I wanted this Ukraine war to end. It's clear that President Zelensky he changed his tune yesterday, but up until that point had no interest in talking peace. If we take away the F-16s, if we take away the Bradley fighting vehicles, if we take away, all the small arms we've given up, half of which have been sold on the black market, and tell them, hey, you're on your own. Let's see how well they fare. It was a little rattling that he got kicked out of the White House, jumped on a plane, flew right to Britain, and Britain's talking about boots on the ground and planes in the air.
Oh, shit, man.
That is scary. But if you notice at the end, they said, but we need America's support. Right. No, you're on your own.
Yeah, exactly.
You're on your own. If you're talking about deploying troops, sending our sons and daughters over, nah, you're on your own. Not for the Democrat money laundering machine. I'm sorry.
Yep.
But yesterday he said he's ready to come back to the table. So I thought his conduct was terrible. Calling our vice is completely uncalled for.
and interrupting him and all that. Hey, specialist, I got a question for you. There was a rumor floating around. Well, it's not actually; it's more than a rumor. That Zelensky met with, let's see, Obama, Susan Rice, Anthony Blinken,
That's a fact.
and
I
who
get
else?
that
Yeah,
on background. Yeah.
you got that on background
He was.
exactly.
I haven't got that stomach to call him president, so I'm just going to call him Vlad the comedian.
Yeah,
Vlad the comedian did meet with those people. Basically, what they did was they tried to ambush Trump and Vance.
right, and that was my impression too. And that's the whole thing was a setup. They're trying to try that. Well, they want to try it in the court of public opinion.
Yeah.
Is what they're trying to do. And yeah, it was a setup. And Trump and Vance, as you said, Professor, didn't let him get away with it. They called him out for that shit. Reference the yeah, you're right. It's not a rumor. There's pictures now floating around out there of all the meeting together. Which, as you specialist or our legal expert, being a Ivy League college trained lawyer and all that fun stuff, or some kind of tumbleweed trained lawyer, or whatever. What kind of violations have occurred with U.S. citizens negotiating for the government? Or yeah.
Oh, off the top of my head, even without sitting down thinking about it, Logan Act.
Okay. Explain, if you would, the
Logan Act. It's been around since the founding fathers, really. Logan Act says that private citizens can't go and negotiate or have meetings with foreign government entities or heads of states. And for the record, Blinken, I call him a Gino, Jew in name only. Susan Rice and Barack Obama, they're all private citizens, as far as I'm aware, which gives them absolutely zero authority to be sitting down with foreign governments. And not even negotiating, but setting entrapment plans for members of government trying to accomplish a mission status here.
My understanding too is that
I do want to say, I want to backtrack on one thing that Professor brought up. I got to say, I'm firmly in Russia's back pocket on this one. Okay. I'm going back to 1983 when Reagan gave away our Social Security benefits, and he also cut a deal with Gorbachev. Tear down this wall. Well, Gorbachev gave away what we now know as the Soviet Union, and they started splitting up into segments. And so Putin, being the person he is, he's just trying to reclaim Soviet territory that he feels was taken from him, and he wants it back. And you know what? I'm going on record as saying I can't blame him. You know, and
I agree with you.
Vladimir the comedian is nothing more than a comedian, really. I mean, this whole
President
thing,
Dancing Shoes.
Dancing Shoes, yeah. This whole thing is an effing joke, as far as I'm concerned.
I call him Tiny Dancer.
Tiny Dancer,
Yeah.
I like that one too. I'll go with that one. I'll take that one.
And that's the thing. And the tough part is when people have different opinions and say, "Hey, I don't think Russia's completely in the wrong." Well, instantly, you're a Russian asset. It's like, well, hang on. We're not at war with them. Let's be clear. Right. We're not at war with the Russian Federation. There's been no declaration, as far as I've known, and there's been no order given from the President of the United States. So as far as I'm concerned, we have no issues with them. And again, it comes back to I'm sure he's trying to regain, Soviet territory. Okay, I honestly think that that he saw the games with Burisma and all the companies there, and he knows for a fact. I mean, look, Vladimir Putin said Putin was run by men in suits that the American public had no idea who they were. He was right. Just let's be honest. Yeah. He was right. Yeah. and he called that out during the days of Barack Obama. So as far as I know, our own politicians have lied to me more than President Putin has. So so when it comes to that, I don't have any issues with the Russian president, and we shouldn't have dipped our toes where we didn't belong. And let us not forget, we started wars ourselves, right? Looking for weapons of mass destruction, or we want to eradicate communism somewhere, and we knew it wasn't working, and we still sent our sons and daughters over to throwing stones at all. You could tell the way the Democrats are acting. Their money laundering scheme is out in the open, and they know they're going to lose. That's why they're freaking out the way they are. That's it. That's they know that their gravy train is coming to an end, and like they're like children, they're screaming, and they don't want to see that end. But you know what? There are people dying. There are some really, really chilling and terrifying videos that I watched two soldiers kill, and it's terrible. There should not be any loss of life like this. We have to pray for everybody. But
since you brought that up, I got some comments on that particular topic. There was a bunch of stuff on X and all complaining about. Apparently, I guess President Putin gave the guy that killed the other one, the victor in that fight, some kind of a medal of whatever the Russian Federation something or other. And everybody was complaining about, oh, that's horrible. How could you do such a thing? Why should he be honored for like killing this other guy? So my response to that is, it was mutual combat between uniformed combatants, single combat. One guy, there's going to be one winner, there's going to be one loser, and it was a fight to the death. Both those guys were professionals, they both knew it, and that's what war is. If you have a problem with that, and if you've never been in that position to where you've quite literally had to fight for your life, then just maybe you should just shut the fuck up.
Absolutely.
I was not happy with a lot of the responses involving that.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is for somebody like me, I've I'm not a veteran. I have not gone to war, and I have looking at these things. To me, it's terrifying, and my heart breaks on both sides, especially when it comes to that. Let's be honest too, right? Now, Zelensky's secret police literally grabbing men off the street. One guy screaming, "My kids are home alone," and they're throwing these guys in. They're not giving them any training. They're giving them minimal weapons and sending them out onto the front.
Yeah, it's called cannon fodder, is what that's called.
When their president, exactly, and that's while their president skips and dances going to get money. But he's sitting there wearing commando sweaters, but he's not out on the front line directing anything. So it's time we cut it off. And
somebody was saying he has his own clothing line.
The Democrats, they support him so much. That's great. All these flags that I see while I'm driving around, that's awesome. We'll throw you on a plane and go defend it. Go for it.
Specialist.
I'm sorry. He does have his own clothing line. I bought a 3-pack of underwear.
Did you really? Are they any good, or how do they compare to like Tommy John's or something? Or
way better.
You got the G-strings, or did you get the full thongs, or what did you get?
I got the full thong.
Okay, good.
So it's only got the little mesh triangle in the front. And
right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's called the Z-pack.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's pretty good actually. we could probably market that. Actually, that's not. You might be onto something there. Your AI glasses are working as they put their little tentacles in your brain. I think.
So what I originally wanted to say, speaking of AI, last night I get a blurb across my phone that Mr. Dancing Shoes was actually having North Korean troops that they took prisoner. They were executing them.
No shit, that's interesting.
I saw that last night.
Not a surprise. That is, I was reading something from General Flynn just recently. One of the benefits, well, it's a benefit, let's face it. War is basically an experiment for new weapon systems and testing new weapon systems, especially wars of like what's going on there right now. But he was saying that the strides in mechanized and drone warfare that the Ukrainians have come up with is pretty incredible. It's they've really got it down to a science.
I think that's the wave of the future, drone warfare.
Without a doubt, yeah. But they use it extensively, and there's all kinds of good stuff coming out of that as far as war fighters go. And maybe at some point, because let's face it, human nature is to kill the other guy at some point over something, be it food or women or animals or weather or whatever.
That's called the war of attrition.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
I'm not sure when you come down to like drones and everything else, there's not much attrition that goes on.
No, there isn't, and that's where it's going to be a problem. But I mean, it's good for humans, I guess, because they can just let machines fight their wars. But
and they keep building them and making money.
Right, and making bigger and better machines, and then pretty soon, there's Terminators wandering around, and we've seen that movie before.
The Secret Service got mechanical dogs running around the White House and at Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah. Well, I think it's kind of cool, actually, but we'll have to see where that goes. There was some Japanese robot, I think, or Chinese robot that attacked some guy in a crowd a while back for some reason. They were showing them off. There was a bunch of them, I guess.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, one of them went off the reservation and tried to grab this guy out of the crowd. So who knows, man? We live in interesting times. That's for sure. All right. We got anything else on?
What do you think about Britain wanting to, the UK wanting to put boots on the ground? What's that? If they trying to sucker us into backing them up as far as NATO goes, get out.
They are, because they said it. They said if we go in and there's a problem, the United States has to back us up. Okay.
So if it's a non-NATO country,
so I don't understand why Britain's doing what they're doing, because Dancing Shoes' country is a non-NATO country. But that being said, I don't think Britain has any business doing what they're doing, and I would certainly hope
we'd have no legal obligation, though. Right?
Well, Trump should get us out of NATO. Trump should get us out of NATO, because when you think about it, the United States is NATO.
100%.
Okay? The Supreme Allied, the commander of NATO is always an American general. For the simple reason, American soldiers don't take orders from foreign officers.
Exactly.
So it's always an American that's in charge. So for all intents and purposes, we are NATO.
Mm-hmm.
President Trump should just say, "Yes, it all.
Mm-hmm.
We're done. We're out of here. We're keeping our money. You people can do what you want." Because it seems like Europe's going off the reservation anyway. They're doing what they want to do.
Yeah, no shit, man. They're pretty much of a dumpster fire. Maybe that's part of the reason to answer your question, Professor. Maybe that's part of the reason why they're kind of a dumpster fire internally. I mean, shit, they have newly elected members of parliament that are swearing whatever oath they swear on the Korans.
Yeah.
And the like virtually the mayor of London and virtually a lot of the politicians now are of an Islamic bent, and there's nothing wrong with that, but they're trying to change the country. They're trying to change the way the United Kingdom functions. They really need to be addressing some of those problems. Crime is out of control. The cops are pretty much useless. they've had no power whatsoever anymore. So maybe it's a distraction from that kind of thing. I would hope not. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with them.
That was a bold statement, though. That was a bold statement to say that they want to put boots on the
hell yeah.
ground and planes in the air. And not too long after that, Dance and Shoes met with the king. So to like, listen, if Britain goes and invades a country or decides they're going to back somebody up, you can't unilaterally thrust us into World War III. So, I have faith that Trump and Vance will be like, no, we're not doing that. And I do agree with us to get out of NATO.
Yeah.
And just let me say one thing about Dance and Shoes and King Charles. Two guys sharing one brain, they're never going to go anywhere.
Yeah. Good point. We're already funding like 80% of NATO anyway, but I think that's part of the issue here also is that all these world leaders are seeing that the U.S. is going to start backing off from all this shit and making them take care of themselves. So they're going to try to either prevent us from doing that or put us in positions, as you said, specialist, where we have to respond to something that happens. And that includes the United Nations, USAID, NATO, all of these world government organizations. We're pulling back from them. So maybe they're trying to.
So my AA glasses just brought up USAID. So
Okay.
Anybody else see the Supreme Court?
Yeah, what's that all about?
Reinstated the funding for USAID, and they got to hire all these workers back. Come on, man.
I did not see that.
What was the basis for that? What was the legal precedent or legal basis for that?
Trump had no right doing what he did. Supposedly all that money was already delegated. I don't know. It was a 5-4 vote. John Roberts went, I guess he put on his Z-thong and went with the liberals on this one here.
I heard Amy Comey, whatever, Barrett did the same thing.
Yeah. Yep.
So,
and another disappointment from the.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see how that one plays out. That's kind of interesting, though.
Yeah, she was glaring at Trump. She was glaring at Trump last.
Yeah, they're supposed to. Yeah, so much for being nonpartisan, huh? For the Supreme Court. Yeah, I don't know. Let's have to see how that works out. All right, got anything else on Zelensky? Dancing shoes.
Apparently he wants to sign the deal now. So he's ready. He's ready to come to the negotiating table.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll see what actually happens. Yeah, that's what once people start following the money with all of this, it's going to be interesting to see where it goes.
That's it.
And if some people don't get locked up over that, that's going to be a real disappointment.
Don't hold your breath on that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's kind of like everything else, which is going to be another topic that we'll get into here momentarily. Actually, we got time to do it now. Would you like to discuss? Go ahead.
I think I'd just like to mention though that J.D. Vance's performance was spectacular. President Vance 2028. I thought he did a fantastic job. I like the I really don't care, Margaret interaction that he had with Dance and Shoes, and you could tell he wasn't getting anywhere when Vance was doing the knife hand.
Yeah.
At him. So I think you're about to get bitch slapped by a Marine who actually went to war. Dance and Shoes, back off.
Right.
I thought it was fantastic, and I like the way Vice President Vance, the way he stands out when he deals with the media, when he deals with other officials on the global stage. I thought he did fantastic, and I think we're going to see some great things for him, and hopefully he is the ticket in 2028.
Yeah.
Him and Tulsi, 2020. They were at the border today in Texas. They were awesome.
Yeah, I actually have some liberal.
Yeah.
I actually have some liberal friends, and one of them asked me for my opinion on Vance's performance, throughout. They said, well, he's not supposed to be doing that. He's the vice president. He shouldn't be involving himself in those things, and, out negotiating and doing all this stuff. And they said, what do you think about that? And I said, I think for the first time in history, we actually have a vice president that works for a living.
Mhm.
You know, he's not just a figurehead. He's not just a replacement if something happens to the president. You know, he's out there actually working and striving to fulfill the president's goals and objectives.
Yeah.
You know, plus he's a military man. What do you expect him to do? He's not going to sit in some office someplace and with his feet up on the desk drinking martinis and shit. The guy's working for a living. Respect that, you know, and it's a different world now, man. That's how shit's supposed to work. So
Yeah.
Absolutely.
yeah, it's good stuff.
Yep.
You want to do let's see, specialist, you want to do 5 minutes on your displeasure with Kash Patel?
Yeah, I'll do 5 minutes on Cash.
And then we'll take a break.
Not what I expected.
Okay.
He should have hit the ground. He should have hit. Supposedly, all the cabinet members were ready to hit the ground running from the minute that they were confirmed. So, 39 arrests. What? Last week or in the 3 weeks he's been the director? They arrested more people in one day under the previous administration than they have in a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, you know. I expected more out of him, you know. He might be a nice guy, but I think he's in over his head.
Okay.
Clueless as to the task at hand.
You got anything on that, Professor?
He should have been in the Southern
Okay,
District
never
of New
mind.
York, flying down there on the private jet, or he should have pedaled his 10-speed down there, walked in like a boss, fired every one of them,
Mm-hmm.
padlocked the door, and put armed guards outside till they could get everything out of there.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he had said on day one, I'm pretty sure if you really want to push my buttons, I'll go find the article. But on day one, he was going to close the J. Edgar Hoover building and turn it into a museum.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here we are 3 weeks later. I only saw him once in the gallery last night clapping.
I don't know. I'm going to go with it's only been 2 weeks theory. I'm going to stay with
It's only
that.
been
Well,
2 weeks.
Yeah, I know. Abe,
And
you
I'll,
got
I'll
your.
push those buttons. It was
Listen, on the 5-minute break, I'm
an
going to go
article.
put one of my
And he
seat backs on. All right, I just got my.
It's been 2 weeks.
I went
It's been
over
2
my.
weeks.
I'm going to
It's been
say
2
this. I've been trying to be nice, but now you.
Hold on.
You
I'm
guys are
seeing some
really
blue
just-
hair. There's some
You
blue
really
hair coming
sucked
up.
it out of me.
There's
I
some
went over
blue
my
hair.
daughter's
right there.
house last night, and I said to
Is
my
that purple?
grandson, "Hey, give Grampy a hug." He kicked me in the balls. Okay,
Yeah.
you two just kicked me in the balls. So I'm going to put my
No.
seat
Look,
back on.
look. I'm trying to save you. You've got some fucking blue. Excuse me. You got some blue hair up there, and I'm trying to help you. Listen. Don't drink the Kool-Aid. You got to put it down. You have to put it down. Look,
He said he was going to close the building on day one. He hasn't done
so
it.
hold on. He said that during a Joe Rogan podcast. And then what happened? When he actually got nominated, right? When Trump actually tasked him to be the director, everybody lost their mind saying he's going to shut the building down. And what happened? They told him not to shut the building down. Okay. Now, can we agree he still doesn't have control of the FBI? In
He
fact,
doesn't.
I'm gonna go a step further. Trump still doesn't have control of the government. Let's be honest. Let's
No,
be
he
honest.
doesn't.
Right? And now what did
They're all in over their heads.
so well anybody would be in over their head. You're taking on the deep state. What did that guy the FBI special agent in charge of New York?
Do I look like I'm over my head right now?
Oh, the one that was forced to retire? Yeah.
You do not want me to answer that question.
I'm the only one that I feel like I'm the only one with my head not up the ass.
We'll talk about
All
that
right,
during the
fellas.
break.
Yeah, we'll talk about that during the break.
2 weeks.
Let's go on with
He's been in there for 2 weeks. Cut the guy some slack. He's taking on the deep state.
yeah. All right. On that happy note, folks, we're Okay, folks, we are back. Let me make sure I got everybody back in line here. Yep, there we go. I'm going to press her back in. You're back with the regular Wednesday night show of I12GIA, the voice of experience. If you're still with us, thanks for sticking around. We're doing our best to educate and entertain this evening. This just came across my Twitter feed. It's Pete Buttigieg saying, if you're a billionaire, $10 eggs might be just a little disturbance. For most Americans, it's a real issue. Well, no shit, dipshit. Maybe if you assholes hadn't have authorized the murder of 26 million chickens, there wouldn't be an egg shortage. What the fuck's wrong with you people? Anyway.
Mayor Pete with the fake boobies had a meeting with somebody the other day. Sorry. I was kind.
Oh, what a visual.
Yeah, no shit. There actually is
Well, they're
pictures of that.
plastic. He fills them up with milk and he lets the kids suck on them. But
Yeah, I
anyway,
think there are videos out there of that.
there are videos. Anyway,
Yeah.
he had a meeting with some big shot in Michigan the other day. So I guess him and the husband are thinking of moving to Michigan so he can run for Senate.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Sure, why not? What the hell? All right, let's talk about Democrats, just for the hell of it.
You really want to do that tonight?
Yeah, I really want to do that tonight. Well, it's because it's, you know why? Because it's on the title of our show for this evening.
Okay.
We have specifically, what we didn't have was a Zelensky roundtable because I didn't put it on there. What we do have is Trump 44 days in and Democrats misbehaving. So since it's up there, we should probably talk about it. And we'll combine that with President Trump's speech to Congress last night, which, by the way, was not the State of the Union, as some people have been describing it.
It was a joint session.
It was a joint, yes, the State of the Joint Session. So let's talk about Democrats misbehaving. You said earlier that whoever that one knucklehead is with the cane that was waving it around and all that was
Al Green.
Yeah, Al Green got the cuff slapped on him out front there.
He was handcuffed.
Yeah, good. That was appropriate. And,
well, hey, good on them for wearing pink to support women. That was great. You just couldn't cast the vote.
Right? Yeah. Is that what
you
that was
couldn't
about,
cast the vote?
How is that supporting women when they seem to be completely against women in general, and have guys in women's sports?
They only supportive of women's rights and children's rights when it fits their narrative.
Yeah,
100%.
Like a mass shooting. Oh, we got to take guns away from everybody to protect the children, right?
Now do abortion.
Now, yeah. So now you've taken the guns away from law-abiding gun-carrying citizens to protect the children, but you'll allow an abortion up to 90 seconds before birth, right?
Well,
Come
yeah.
on.
Yeah. And then you have Nancy Pelosi sitting there like the Wicked Witch of the West saying, we must save the children and your little dog too. What in the world is wrong with these people? Do they not? I mean, I know they're delusional. I know D is actually for delusional behavior, but are they really that stupid? Are they that out of touch? It's almost scary.
No, they think that we're stupid, and they don't think that we have the brains to know what's right for ourselves, that we need them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess that's what it is. Well, big government, Professor.
They are completely unhinged, and they are completely 100% out of touch with reality. Look, we knew this a while ago when, what is a woman, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they still can't define one.
Mm-hmm.
Wear pink, right? But all the folks there to support, keeping men out of women's locker rooms. All right, they didn't clap. They couldn't clap for an end to the war in Ukraine, right? They stayed there, and of course, when President Trump asked, what are we gonna, do another 5 years of war, and Granny Warren, Chief Spreading Bull, was like, yeah, he's like, oh, Pocahontas, of course you would want more war, right? There was that. They could not applaud a 13-year-old kid with terminal brain cancer. I'm sorry, you lost me. There is nothing you can say or do that will ever get me back to look at a single cause of yours. You couldn't stand up and clap for that little boy. Are you kidding me? That tells me you are completely delusional, completely detached from reality. And what did I say last week? You cannot have a sane conversation with mentally ill people. You just can't do it. And I think what we saw last night was them completely over the edge. There's there was one of them that was clapping about the end of the war, and he was kind of like looking around like, I'm gonna hear it on this one.
I saw that, yeah.
He had his Ukraine tie on, right? And as we stand with Ukraine, and then he was like, yeah, end the war. No, we're not ending. Oh, okay, I guess we're not. It's sick. And for the first time ever, I'm almost for psych exams to run for office, right? Because this is where we're at. They couldn't stand for Laken Riley. They couldn't stand. I mean, you couldn't even just offer condolences to the family members of the 13 Marines. Really? So this is where we are. And they like to call other people names of hate groups, but there's a lot of hate in that party. I saw a lot of hatred last night. I've seen it right along, but last night, and I watched the whole hour and 41 minutes of it. There's a lot of hate in that party.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So I wanted to be nice tonight, and I wanted to refrain from using words like fuckhead and fucktard and stuff like that. So I actually came up with a list as an intelligence analyst and a certified profiler. I come up with a list that defines today's Democrat. And if you indulge me, I'm going to read.
No, please do. Yes. Yeah. Good.
All right. Aberration, adamant, adversarial, ambivalent, apathetic, avarice, bellicose, contentious, disparaging, esoteric, fallacious, immutable, insolent, pernicious, recalcitrant, reticent, and unilateral. Those are the words I come up with them. And none of them are really good, but that identifies what these people are and what their ideology is and what we're dealing with today. Like that congresswoman last night there, let me pull her name up. Jessie something or other. The black lady.
Jasmine.
Jasmine.
Oh, yeah, Jasmine, yeah.
She was just doing a dance in the halls of the Capitol today. So she's got a net worth of $10 million, and she owns 5 mansions. Tell me, how did she do that?
On a salary of 122,000 or 172,000 a year. Yeah, it's a excellent question. And that's why they're so afraid of Doge, because they're going to start looking into that shit. And the AIs are smart enough to do it.
Yeah, they keep saying, protect Medicare, protect Medicare, protect Medicaid. Well, that's exactly what Doge is doing, right? They're stopping the fraud to give Medicaid to who it needs. Well, no, that's not good.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It's a classic example of me thinks that thou protest too much. It's
exactly
because they're the ones that are the beneficiary of all that graft and fraud and everything else that's going on right now. These politicians are right now. As for any politician, I don't know. They're all the same. It seems like. I like your idea about psych evals for politicians. So,
you know what? I was never like that before, but but seeing the way the Democrats have been acting, I think that's what we need.
Well, anybody
think,
else in any position of authority has to have them. Cops, firemen, military officers, so forth
absolutely.
and so on.
Would you settle for just pissing in a cup instead?
Are they drinking it or no?
Instead of a psychopath?
Oh, no. No, they probably do piss in cups anyway, and who knows what they do with it. But no, I want a full-on MMPI and CPI and all the other stuff that I think a polygraph would be appropriate. Hell, just they get a background or a clearance of some kind. Make them earn it. Just because you're sitting on a committee doesn't automatically give you a clearance. Everybody else has to go through that shit. Why the hell should
Anybody that's elected to public, anybody that's duly elected to Congress gets an automatic security clearance.
Mm-hmm.
Rules don't apply to them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's a big part of the problem is because nothing applies to them. They said they make their own rules for everything.
Yep.
But that only applies to them, which is why they have their own barber shops and a whole $1 billion fund of money for a pool of money available for sexual assaults and misconduct, and they don't have to pay their taxes and everything else. The rest of us did. We get locked up forever. And I think that's what's going to happen. I think that's what they're so afraid of. There's nothing more dangerous than a cornered animal, and that's pretty much what Democrats are right now. I'm just concerned about what they're going to do next.
Without a doubt.
If we don't take care of this problem now, and we don't root out the deep state now, and we don't handle this, if the next time they cheat and come back to power, it's over.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I mean, look at what they did. Look what they did with like January 6th, right? This was the biggest threat to the country, more than 9/11 in Pearl Harbor.
Mm-hmm.
Are you kidding me? Yeah. Right? Like, all right, I wasn't alive during Pearl Harbor, but I was for sure for 9/11, and I know what went on then. Yep. They're completely out of touch with reality. Mm-hmm. Not just out of touch with their constituents, out of touch with reality. Okay. Mm-hmm. And they talk so much crap, they believe themselves. So I think we're gonna see some really wild things from the Democrat Party.
Mm-hmm. Hey, let me ask you a question. Do you think that the deep state's deeper than Trump actually thought it was?
I think so.
100%.
Yep.
So before the break, I was talking about the FBI agent in charge that just had to step down. I can't think of his last name.
Yeah.
He sent an email to his
Bonheimer.
Is that what it is? Bonheimer? Okay.
He sent I thought it was Dennehy. I don't know. In any case, he sent an email.
Making that up.
He sent an email to his agents after Trump won the election and said, "Dig in." So,
okay.
Yeah. So, and then you look at the Pam Bondi Epstein phase 1 was a complete letdown. That fizzled out, within 24 hours. That was just 200 pages with some black markers on there. And this guy held the thousands of documents back. Why? You're gonna get caught. What are you doing? I think that's the reason they brought Bongino on, and he starts March 14th. That's his start date. He announced that on his channel, and he was putting some people in place to take over his channel. I think that they are so entrenched that Trump's not going to get it within these 4 years for sure. But they're like sleeper cells. Like they are embedded in these intel agencies and these law enforcement agencies, and it's going to be rough, but we got to rip them out.
Something else that got my attention, I was thinking about earlier today, it's not just in reference to what you said about deeper than Trump believes or anybody else. It's not a local issue. We've always known that there was a shadow government within the United States government. This is a worldwide issue. It's the entire world now is marshaling forces against what President Trump is trying to do. And it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. I don't know if Canada, Mexico, and all these other people are just a bunch of talk at this point, but and in Europe and all that. But it's going to be curious and to see what happens next.
Let me ask you guys this: Why
Yeah.
do you think? Why not Mark Levin or Trey Gowdy?
Well, first thing, 10 Nightshade 13 says, someone says hi, Grampy.
Hi, buddy.
I love Mark Levin. He was with the Reagan administration, and I love his fire. I love listening to him. I think he would have been good. Trey Gowdy, I haven't obviously seen anything from Trey in a while because he's been out. But when he was in, I really enjoyed listening to him, and he had no problem going after the Democrats.
Mm-hmm.
I think it should be telling though. Who says they weren't asked? Who wants that job? I mean, let's be completely honest. If somebody from the president's cabinet reached out to you and said, "Listen, we want you to do this. You're going to have to leave your family. You're going to have to cut all ties from friend. Like you need to go in solo and handpick your team, and you're in it for the rest of your life." Right? Because there'll always be a target on your back. This is as bad as it sounds. So I think that's, that's why they're picking who they picked. That's just my opinion. I could be way off, but
that's a good point. I wonder how many people they did ask first, or other people that they asked. Yeah, that's a good point.
I'm just watching this now. Women are starting to transition into Zelensky's.
Oh my God.
Oh my!
Oh, Jesus, that sounds about right. Hey, what do you guys think about Hegseth? How's he doing?
Pistol Pete.
Yeah, Pistol Pete.
He was on the border today. I was impressed by him, by the vice president, and by the DNI.
Okay.
I read a disparaging article though today that said that Trump has severely limited Marco Rubio's authority, and I don't know why that article came out or what it's all about. But
hey, does anybody have anything on the bugging devices in the Resolute desk?
no, I didn't hear that.
No.
You didn't hear it was bugged?
Well, I heard it was bugged, but I didn't get any particulars on it.
Yeah, they pretty much shut it down in a hurry. Like who do they? We were talking a few days ago about how it's always been there's recording devices in there. I mean, but
yes,
it's known, everybody knows it. But are these from other nations, other countries? Who do those bugging devices belong to? I guess is
the Democrats.
I have to thank the FBI because I don't think foreign governments have access to the Oval Office.
Yeah.
So I would think
I don't know. Do they?
I would think the FBI had their hands in it for sure.
So Project Mockingbird working in full effect. Did you guys see the 22 senators that parroted the exact same video? Yeah.
Yeah, they've been doing that shit forever. Every news channel, it's like they say the same thing.
Yeah, it's but really the senators like Elizabeth Warren said the same thing that Cory Booker did. They didn't even change the words, And then of course, with the news stations, the word of the day was ambush, right? They felt that President Trump and J.D. Vance ambushed dancing shoes. So, instantly, the CIA or the deep state puts it out on the wire, and the mainstream media repeats it. So,
they get a script every morning.
Question I have for you guys is, we all saw the speech, right? So the Abbey Gate bomber, the planner, real or fake? Because Sarah Adams, intel specialist, who worked for the CIA, she's saying it's fake. I'm kind of leaning to agree with her. I mean, this is Pakistan really just handed this guy over?
No.
No. Yeah, I'm going to go with fake also.
Yeah.
And why in the world are they bringing him here to try?
Yeah.
You know, why not just drop him out of a fucking helicopter somewhere and be done with it?
Whoops.
Yeah.
Door was open.
Yeah.
They could have saved the tax, but yeah, I'm throwing the bullshit flag on that one too.
Yeah, and I'm familiar with Sarah Adams, and I have a lot of respect for the work that she does. So yeah, if it's coming from her, that's bullshit. Then it probably is.
Yeah, I read her her intel brief that she does through Sean Ryan. She's got some she's been at it for a while, and so when she talks, it kind of pulls some weight, and I found it weird that all of a sudden we get this guy,
Yeah.
Not trying to throw shade at Trump, but
Yeah. No.
I'm not buying what he's selling on that one.
Yeah,
Nope,
I agree.
me neither.
All right, guys, you want to do the light? You guys ready for the lightning round?
Yeah.
All right. All right.
How many words do we get?
As many as you want.
Okay.
Okay. Let's keep it within a paragraph, or I don't know. Let's see how it goes. Okay. First up, this is directly from Representative Pramila Jayapal. I just walked out on Trump's speech. It's not worth my time to sit there and listen to him spew lies and hate. Professor.
Fake news.
Specialist.
Goodbye. Keep walking.
With a name like Premier Jayapal, maybe you should have go see a cranial rectal inversion specialist.
My thoughts on this would be, as she's standing outside of the halls of Congress, spewing lies and hate, complaining about people spewing lies and hate. That's kind of where that goes. Okay, moving right along. That won't work. That won't work either. Let's see. That's on Al Green. Okay, that's good enough. We already talked about this a little bit. This is Representative Al Green. He was removed last night for heckling Trump. I stand by his action. Do you? Yes or no? Professor.
No, I do not stand by his actions. Goodbye.
Specialist.
It did my heart warm seeing him putting handcuffs outside the Capitol building.
Yeah. Yeah, without a doubt. Okay, how would you describe Maxine Waters' over 40-year career in politics? And I'm going to tell, just in case to be inspiring some nightmares tonight. Can you imagine waking up next to that every morning? But anyway, Professor, how would you describe her 40-year career in politics?
To sum it up, a dumpster fire at a gasoline station.
Perfect. Specialist.
Well, they said when they found Gene Hackman and his wife, they were mummified. She's putrefied.
All right, from Ian Miles Chong on Twitter. What's the whole ass matter with Pelosi? She looks like she just ate like a cat turd or something. I'm not sure what's going on with her.
That looks like one of those Halloween decorations you get from Walgreens.
Specialist.
Being nice. Being nice. She needs to stop drinking and get laid.
Oh,
Jesus. Is that even possible?
Oh, God.
Let's see. Okay, breaking. This is Brian Allen, whoever that is. Breaking. The White House is panicking over Trump's economic disaster class and is now hinting at reducing tariffs on Canada. But Canada, they just told Trump to kick rocks. Trudeau says they're not lifting a damn thing unless all of Trump's tariffs are gone. Trump thought he could bully Canada into submission. Now he's backpedaling while Ottawa stands its grounds. Looks like his genius trade war is already blowing up in his face, and Canada isn't having it. Any thoughts on that, Professor?
Yes. To quote the great movie South Park, Bigger, Longer, Uncut, Canada is not even a real country anyway.
Specialist.
Justin Trudeau can lick the sweat off my nutsack.
Okay, that'll probably get us kicked off of YouTube, but that's okay. We'll see what
3,
happens.
2, 1. Have a good night, folks.
Yeah, really. All right, let's see. Yeah, this is a good one. 19-year-old Peyton McNabb was severely injured by a man during a volleyball game, left with a traumatic brain injury after he spiked the ball against her head. President Trump was proud to sign an executive order that keeps men out of women's sports. Yes or no there, Professor?
Yes, 100% agreed.
Specialist.
Absolutely. 100% agreed.
Right. Let's see if that's probably going to be it for. Oh well, yeah. They're fighting back by Premier Wab Canoe of Canada. This order pulls all U.S. booze off our liquor shelves, and they already they are the funny thing there though is they've already purchased and paid for it. So
You've already paid for it.
yeah, so I don't know what they're trying to accomplish there. And then this one, okay, this is going to be the last one. Representative LaMonica McIver, seated and ready to hear some bullshit from about concerning Trump's speech last night. So that's the quality of the average Democrat to representative that we're dealing with right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well that was kind of a fun lightning round. And fellas, we are at our hour. It's 2100 here in the free state of Florida. So let's go ahead and wrap it up. Ready? You guys ready? You got anything else of interest that you want to discuss? Something that doesn't have to do with ball sweat or anything.
Some good comments. Some good comments here in the chat that I wish we would have got to. Maybe we could cover next week. Annie had a real good one. Why isn't Canada having problems with bird flu? Is it just the U.S.? We should probably cover some of those things. There's some real good ones here. And
yeah, thanks, Annie.
Folks in the chat. I would ask for some folks in the chat next week. Throw some topics up, and we'll kick them around.
Yeah, thanks, Annie. We will definitely. I'm writing that down in my little notebook here right now for next week. Bird
and eventually, Sam Adams said we should do the call-ins again. Eventually, we'll get to that point for sure. I'd love to talk to people.
Yep. Yeah, that's a technical matter that I'm working on as we speak. There, Sam. So we'll get that going too, hopefully. Anything else from the comment section there, Professor?
No, a lot of good stuff. And we should watch it. I'll do better watching it next week. But
yeah, me too.
If there's anything thrown in there, I'd love to kick it around.
Definitely. All right, I'll go ahead and say your good evenings then, and then we'll move on to the specialist and continue on. So say good night.
It was great talking to you guys as always, and great talking to the folks in the chat. And for our Catholic friends out there, it's Ash Wednesday, beginning of Lent. God bless you. It's a time for penance. Get to confession if you need to, and keep praying. Pray for Israel, and pray for the United States, and pray for our president. All right, God bless President Trump, Vice President Vance, and be prepared to get some training. Proper planning prevents poor performance. Be your own first responder.
Well said, sir. Specialist.
Thank you, everybody, for showing up. It's been a pleasure to be with you tonight. I consider it a privilege. God bless Israel, the United States. President Trump may continue to do good work. Not so sure about all the people he's got around him, though, but the deep state is deeper than he thought it was going to be. I'm afraid that's becoming a reality. Get some training. We're here to assist you with that. I-12 GIA and Peace of Mind training. Love those and keep those you love close to you. And again, from the bottom of my heart, I'm always humbled to be here. It's a privilege.
Excellent. Well said, Specialist. Yeah, thanks, folks. The three of us and sometimes the four of us put a lot of time and effort into these little shows. We try to educate and entertain, which is our purpose here. Hopefully we're doing that for you. I see more and more every week. Seems like more and more people stick around because apparently they like whatever it is that we're rambling on about. So I guess we must be doing something right, and we will continue to do that as the show goes forward. We're like a year and a half into this now. I think we've been doing this for a while. It seems like, and every show seems to get a little bit better, a little smoother. No technical difficulties and things, but we work around them. As the professor said earlier, if you have topics you want us to cover, please let us know. We are live streaming on YouTube, and we can get a hold of us there, or our email address, which I didn't put on the scroll tonight because I'm a dumbass and had no idea. I forgot to do it.
Do we have a Facebook page? No.
No, not yet. I got to get my shit together and get that up.
Once we get it up and running, I'd like to start a GoFundMe for Maisie Hirono, so we can send her to school so she can learn how to talk English.
Okay, that sounds like a plan.
All
Just
right.
send her an e-learning book on the Hooked on Phonics or something. I'm sure she'll figure it out.
All right.
And anyway, on that happy note, this is the episode or the end of the episode of our regular Wednesday night show. Like I said, educate and entertain, all that other stuff that goes along with it. Thank my brothers there for all the hard work they put into these shows every week, and all you folks out there, be safe, and we will see you next time. Same station, same channel, same place. All right, let me find my little goodbye button here, and we will end this.